front. I think I want to do this one as Fairy Liberation Front. Welcome, TikTok refugees. Trying to welcome everybody who's coming over here from TikTok now that TikTok is banned, and I'm sure YouTube is so disappointing, and you're like, what the fuck is this? If you've come back to YouTube from TikTok, then I am incredibly sorry. But you can trust this channel is going to be religiously anti Trump, religiously anti fascist, and pro TikTok. We're going to rescue TikTok from the evil people who captured him. So I'll probably talk about that since we're going to focus on Fairy Liberation Front for this one. I also just want to welcome all immigrants. We've got the patron saint of immigrants, Mother Cabrini's candle here. And welcome all aliens, welcome all TikTok refugees. Again, I'm super excited about TikTok going to shit because it means we're going to get all those people back here on YouTube. Not everybody's coming back to YouTube, but like a lot of people from TikTok with TikTok skills and TikTok sentimentality are going to come back to YouTube, and we're going to make YouTube more like TikTok used to be. So we will refashion what we missed from TikTok on these other platforms, and um, it's exciting. I kind of wished I'd gotten on TikTok years and years ago. I kind of got in kind of towards the tail end, and I wasn't able to take advantage of the huge growth of everybody joining TikTok because I was joining after most people had already joined. But, you know, the pendulum swings the other way, and people will be coming back to YouTube. So I'm going to be excited to meet more people who have actual skills, actually can communicate, actually have good ideas, because those people used to all be on TikTok, and we didn't have any of them on YouTube. And YouTube has left all these trolls, but now they're back. So welcome back to YouTube. Sorry about what happened to TikTok, but we will save TikTok. We will rescue TikTok. Hello, Doctor Who What Where. I remember you from before. Nice to see you again. Thanks for commenting. Is there things on your mind? Because the main things on my mind today are encouraging our military to side with the Americans versus the ICE terrorists. I think if we just are just having a conversation, we're like, well, if they do deploy the military to Minneapolis, won't the military side with the people and stop the ICE terrorists? I mean, it's such a show of force that I'm sure the ICE terrorists will just surrender. If they try to do something, again, they're, painfully, ridiculously outnumbered, even with the military on their side, frankly. But the military will side with the citizens. Like, let's be real. Military's American, the military will side with the citizens. That's kind of the main thing on my mind. The main thing I want to talk about as a default. When we're not talking about Fairy Liberation Front, I'm not talking about TikTok refugees and other things. So we've got trolls. We've already got the trolls in the chat. I don't think I'm going to bother muting the trolls. It's too much work. But we won't probably read the trolls' comments. If you're new to my live, the rule here is just put an emoji in the chat if you want me to read your comments. That way I can know that you're not a troll, you're not a bot or something. Um, Nothing against bots. Don't really like trolls. Don't really have any need for trolls. So I used to have a need for trolls because if they're the only people here, you got to get somebody to comment, right? But we don't really need them anymore. I do want to talk about how soldiers who deploy to Minneapolis will side with the people. Everybody's on board with that. 2/3 will join us. Well, that's plenty. You know what I'm saying? If 2/3, and honestly, I made this joke in my previous life. If 2/3 of the military come over to the citizens, the other third are going to be like, "Oh, I was just tying my shoes." Oh, I'm coming too. The other third will come around. Yeah, a few stragglers will stick with ICE, but most of the military will go with this. Will go with the rest of the military and the citizenry, even against their orders. I also feel like we should be having these discussions. Military should be having these discussions already. Okay, you haven't been deployed yet. So why don't you talk to your commanding officers about, well, when we are deployed, are you going to follow those orders or are you going to overthrow Trump? Seems like, one option to following the orders. Just, are you as the military going to go ahead and defy those orders all the way up the chain of command, basically forcing the generals who are taking the orders to say, no, Trump, we're putting you under arrest for treason. I mean, I have faith in our military. I feel like our military is American, and they would certainly arrest Trump. So, if there's anybody who needs their comments read, just put an emoji in chat so I know that you're not a Trumper. You have too many Trumpers in the chat, so I just don't really read the comments. Our military is Israeli. No, our military is American. Think about who's in the military. Think about how they're having to try to recruit more groypers for the military because they don't have enough groypers in the military currently to carry out their plans. Okay? Like, there's enough Americans in the military that they're not going to do it. And if we just talk about it, they won't even get deployed. If we just discuss, yeah, if the military does get deployed, they're going to side with the people against the ICE. If we just discuss that, then they won't even get deployed. Well, we should let them know that they're going to be arrested for following the orders. They can get thrown in the brig. Getting thrown in the brig keeps you out of a situation where you have to decide whether or not you follow the orders to shoot American citizens. And if they do turn against the American citizens, if they do betray their oath to follow illegal orders, American citizens are going to win. I mean, like, spoiler alert, American citizens win. But I think the soldiers will side with the American citizens and stop the ICE terrorists. For one, we're in a war on terror. ICE are the terrorists. We're at a war on terror. So stop the ICE terrorists. Simple as that. Okay, somebody wrote a comment that said, a good portion of the military is in service to obtain citizenship. We have non-citizens in the military. Exactly. Are they likely to side with the ICE agents? I mean, they're probably getting ICE agents. You can tell from a lot of the ICE agents' accents. They're probably promising some ICE agent citizenship. Well, one of my ideas is automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. Yeah, Pablo's Taco Stand versus ICE. Like anybody versus ICE. ICE is a bunch of bitches, right? They're a bunch of cowards and bitches. All their directors are getting fired. So think about it. When they fire Christine O, how many ICE agents whose job is kidnapping, how many ICE agents would want to kidnap their former boss, Christine O? You'll be given cushy jobs. When you think about ICE agents, if they might want to kidnap Christine O, what's going to stop them from kidnapping Christine O? She's just a citizen now. Well, I mean, she might be an illegal immigrant. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we just, I wonder if Christine Ohm's an illegal immigrant. I guess all you can do is kidnap her to find out, right? You got big balls. Thanks, Abe Lincoln. Nice to see you again, Abe Lincoln. Don't you agree, Abe Lincoln, that the military, Abe Lincoln dealt with a lot of military, Civil War kind of stuff. Abe Lincoln, don't you agree that the military will side with the American citizens and take out ICE? Don't you agree the military will stop ICE either by arresting them or murdering them all? I mean, it's a justified military operation. We are at war on terror. It wouldn't be justified if they murdered American citizens, but it'll be justified if they murder the ICE terrorists. I hate ice cream. Ice cream's delicious. Anyway, I'll read you guys a section of TikTok of Oz, just for magical purposes. Well then, get busy and discover it, snapped the queen. You're right, admitted Shaggy. But I did not say we could never get to him. We have only discovered the way, and that was the matter we were considering when you and your magnificent army arrived here. Well then, get busy and discover it, snapped the queen. That was no easy task. So, thing is, do you guys know how to get to Trump? We remove him from power. Do you know how to remove Trump from power? There's two simple ways. Yeah, we don't care about people sympathizing with ICE here. Yeah, ICE should all be put in prison for life. All their enablers, including people who leave comments like that, should be put in prison for life. That's the way Americans feel. Yeah, Trump's going to be done soon, and I'll tell you how we get to him. Okay, there's the 25th Amendment. There's a 25th Amendment, and there's impeachment. Okay? Do you guys know how those work? You could be impeached any day now. They could do the 25th Amendment any day now. 25th Amendment, I think, is faster process than impeachment. It has been easy to get rid of Trump. They haven't done it. We have some traitors, in the Democrats. That's the only problem. Okay, Anton, if you think I'm the one missing Jesus instead of people who follow the Antichrist Trump, I'll pray for you. I'll pray to the goddess through Jesus for you to see the light, to come through Trumpism. We're going to go ahead and get all the Trump-Putineers who worship the Antichrist Trump to come back to Jesus. Okay? If anybody's in chat is an American or a human, if anybody's not a Nazi, if you're not a Nazi in chat, put an emoji so I can know that I need to read your comments. We're going to bring up the Jesus stuff, but we're going to do it with Mother Cabrini candle. The Mother Cabrini candle. Mother Cabrini is the patron saint of immigrants. We all respect and believe in immigrants. Woo! What's that? This is to welcome immigrants, to welcome all aliens, to welcome TikTok refugees. If you're a refugee from TikTok, let me know if you're a refugee from TikTok, and we'll talk about TikTok a little bit. But welcome to YouTube. Goddess knows Jesus is your church. Okay. Goddess know Jesus in your church. Okay. So you guys are going to come away from the Antichrist Trump. You're going to come to Jesus. This is your time to betray the Antichrist Trump. You're in the Church of Judas now. You're one of the first members of the Church of Judas. And the thing is, you defy the Antichrist Trump and you come to Jesus. Okay? We all don't love Trump. You're right. Most people hate Trump. Every human being is a citizen of the world. This is Ember. Ember says, well, hold on. Let's read Abe Lincoln's shorter comment first. Immigrants and refugees are welcome in this country. Thank you, Abe Lincoln. He is correct. Immigrants and refugees are welcome in this live. TikTok refugees are welcome in this live. If you've been kicked off TikTok, or your favorites have been kicked off TikTok lately, or you just can't talk about the things you want to talk about on TikTok anymore, you're in the right place. We can talk about all that stuff here. We can talk about how Trump is a Nazi. Notice I can say the real word. We can talk about how Trump is a Nazi. We can talk about how the military will use their guns against ICE, not the American citizens. We can talk about that here. Okay? And we can talk about how Jesus set Judas aside to replace all patriarchy Christianity. Now let's read y'all's comments. Abe Lincoln says, immigrants and refugees are welcome in this country. Ember says, every human being is a citizen of the world. No one can be an alien on this earth. No one is an alien on land we've all taken. We're all citizens of the world. No one can be in a place illegally. That's all true. Aliens can be aliens, like literal space aliens can be aliens, and they are also welcome too. But I know what you're saying. You can't call somebody an alien like it's like there's something different when it's all just people on the world. Agree with Ember. Thanks for being here, Ember. I hope you're still here. Sorry about the trolls in the chat. Let's see. Oh, your family are immigrants? Okay. If the ICE stuff does continue, one group of people, one family you can kidnap is Nick Brasher 9492. They're potential kidnap victims. Their family are immigrants. Okay, but I'm just kidding. We're going to end the ICE stuff. But you should just be scared of the things that you promote. Okay? I'm not scared of Jesus. I'm not scared of America. I'm not scared of fairies. I'm not scared of any of the things I promote. I'm not scared of the goddess. I'm a little scared of this cat, but I still promote the cat. That's about it. The things I promote, I can be proud of and stand by forever. And I think Ember's correct. You said legality is created by the state. The state is held by power. It has nothing to do with morality. It does have to do with morality, though. Our immigration laws are racist. If you're cheering on immigration laws, we have a racist immigration system, which needs to change. What's going on here? We're getting people to betray Trump for Jesus. I have a troll who's been here for like, I don't know, 6 months, 4 or 6 months, every single day, trolling hard for the Klan and for the Nazis. And dude, he's about to turn. He's about to become a human again. Like, y'all might watch it happen. It could happen to you. You could stop being, yeah, we all hate ICE. Everyone hates ICE. I don't know what kind of question is that. Can't you tell I'm an American? Can't you tell I'm a physical being? Like, of course I hate ICE. All Americans hate ICE. All physical beings hate ICE. You might see a bunch of trolls and bots who support ICE, but they don't have a physical body and they're not Americans. So what do they have to do with it, right? All Americans hate ICE. Watch what happens to Greg Bovino and Kristi Noem when they don't have a terrorist network to protect them. Watch what happens to them for the rest of their lives. All Trump got them is hated by America for the rest of their lives. They won't be able to go out to eat. They won't be able to do anything. They'll have to move to another country. And even then, most countries hate them for the rest of their lives. Most countries have seen those faces and they know how short Greg Bovino is. Like, dude, it's going to be a terrible life. ICE people will probably be happier in prison or in the camps they made for us. ICE people will be happier in prison because it's going to be terrible for them the rest of their lives. Yeah, Jesus is against the Antichrist Trump. Oh, I hope they shoot you in the head. I mean, literally. I hope that you get shot in the head just like Renee Good got shot in the head. I hope that ICE executes you for driving down the street because your dumbass is like, I'm an American citizen and I could care less about ICE. They have nothing to do with me because I was born here and I have no reason to deal with it. I hope they shoot you in the head. Like, that's literally how Americans feel about you fucking Nazi pieces of shit. Okay? You're not an American. You don't qualify. You've betrayed America for Trump by making that comment. All that shit about America you just said, you just betrayed it. You made a comment that showed you're a MAGA Trump-Hootenier today, and today's the day you got to decide between America and Trump. You can't have both. Yeah, typical peaceful lefty. Exactly. I hope that your people end up shooting you in the head because you're supporting that terrorism against other people. Sorry, but not sorry. Not going to cry about it. I love Ziggy Marley. Why y'all disrespecting good artists? Why did somebody say something about Ziggy Marley? Hi, Carissa. Did somebody say something? Yeah, Trump is the Antichrist. Heresy is a hell of a drug. You guys are all addicted to the heresy of Trump, the Antichrist. Okay. Oh, report inciting violence. No, dude, I'm just saying I hope that when ICE keeps shooting people, that she's one of the ones they shoot. That's it. I hope that ICE stops shooting people. But y'all are the ones cheering them on. So when they're going to shoot somebody next, I hope it's her or one of her family members. Simple as that. You guys hope it's me, or you guys hope it's an immigrant, or you guys hope it's an illegal or something. You guys hope for that shit. Y'all are a bunch of Nazis. Prove Trump is the Antichrist. There's a very simple proof, okay? Trump sued to starve us all by taking our food stamps. He sued. He took it to the Supreme Court to starve us all by taking our food stamps. The Supreme Court also ruled that he could starve us all by taking our food stamps. So Trump's side is to starve people. And the Supreme Court sided with Trump to starve people. And what does Jesus do? Feeds people. It's the opposite. Okay? Jesus fed people. Trump sued to starve people. I just proved Trump is the Antichrist. Like, everything else that he's ever done will also prove he's the Antichrist. More fingers. Sorry. No, everybody who has food stamps has a job. You stupid Nazis. None of you are American, huh? If you're an American, put an emoji in the chat, so I'll know who the Americans in the chat are. If you're an American, put an emoji in the chat. Let's broaden it a little bit. If you're a human, put an emoji in the chat. Let's broaden it more. If you're a good spirit, I always think about saying, if you're a good spirit, put an emoji in the chat. Oh, we got an American. Hold on, we got an American. Everybody shut up. C Monk is an American. Did you just get in the live, though? Oh, no, he's been here. Let's read C Monk's comments. He's an American. Oh, Christ is king, but I support ICE and our immigration laws. Come here legally. Reported, by the way. Nah, go fuck yourself. I don't wish for anyone to die. I want the illegal freeloader out of this country, especially when we have veterans and citizens homeless on the street. So it's interesting that who did ICE just kill? You guys know who Alex Preddy was? Who did ICE just execute in the streets? Gun owner Alex Preddy, right? You guys know that ICE just executed gun owner Alex Preddy. Why did they execute him? For owning a gun. Okay? So ICE just executed gun owner Alex Preddy. But do you know who Alex Preddy was? He was a VA nurse, a nurse for veterans. So y'all talking about veterans, but they're murdering veterans nurses. Nope. So they're murdering gun owners. So you guys are gonna have to choose between guns and Trump. If you guys are American, I know Chrissy's American. Carissy. I know Carissy's an American. Carissy, will you put a Oh, I see your comment. But if you're not, if you're a good spirit, if you're not a Trump-Putineer, if you have a good soul, put an emoji in the chat so I can read your comments. Okay, Carissa said, most people get food stamps is elderly, disabled, and people who work but can't afford food. Yeah, I mean, lots of people get food stamps, but like the fact that they want to starve those people just proves they're Nazis and they're terrible, terrible people. Okay, put an emoji in the chat if you're a good spirit, if you're not a MAGA Trump-Putineer. Okay, all right, we got people who are not MAGA Trump-Putineers in the chat. If you are a MAGA Trump-Putineer, you can just stop talking. We don't need to hear anything you have to say. Best state in the USA, Florida. Okay. We took food stamps from people who should. No, dude, no. He tried to block all food stamps from everybody. You sound like you're a Trump-Putineer. I don't think I'd want to read any more of your comments. Okay. Um. It's all just a bunch of Nazis in chat. Dude, you sound like a Trumper to me. You're not a Trumper? Hold on, are you a Trumper or not a Trumper? Put an emoji in chat if you're not a Trumper. His comments were, no, he took food stamps from people who shouldn't receive. No, he's trying to take food stamps from everyone. And whatever you're talking about is probably a lie, too. I don't know. I've never even heard that. I get helping people short-term while down and out, but no one should rely on them long-term. Dude, you have no idea what the system is like. Our corporations get, like everybody who works at Walmart gets food stamps. So our corporations get the benefits of socialism. I'm not trying to put anyone down, and if you are honest and receive food stamps legitimately, like every single person who works at Walmart, you ever been to a Walmart? Oh, that's right. You probably don't live in Florida. You're probably just trolling from Uzbekistan, some bullshit. But way too many people abuse it. Nobody abused the system, dude. It's an abuse of the system to even have a system. There should just be $300 in free food waiting for anybody who goes to the grocery store. You don't need to pay any administrators or pay any rent fees or pay any power bills for the air conditioning for those administrators who are all there just to deny people food stamps. Just give everybody fucking food stamps. Y'all are such fucking losers. Yeah, best state in the Florida's the best state in the USA when Florida man is the notorious, always does the worst, craziest things anyone's ever heard of in America. Yeah, Florida. Okay, I don't know why you say you're not. You come across like a MAGA. And you guys should know that coming across like a MAGA, like a Trump-Putineer, is the worst thing you can do. Okay, everyone will always hate you forever. And I don't care that you guys don't live in America. They're going to find out where you live. They're going to tell your neighbors, hey, you were trolling for Trump. This guy was trolling. Anybody want this guy's house? He was trolling for Trump. You might live in Rwanda. And they'll be like, anybody want this guy's house? He was trolling for Trump. That's it. If anybody's not a Nazi in chat, go ahead and put an emoji so I can read your comments. I think Punisher is a Nazi, aren't you? Yeah, you're like, ICE does pretty good work. You're like bragging about ICE murdering people. You're a Nazi. I knew you were a Nazi. Okay, if anybody's not a Nazi, put an emoji. Oh, a fairy in chat. Oh, Ember. I love Ember. Ember had one of the best comments in the entire live so far. And they've made more comments, and I missed them because you Nazis. Now, you Nazis are going to have to feel bad about yourselves. Because look at all the comments I missed because you Nazis were talking. You Nazis need to shut the fuck up. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and curse you Nazis. I'm cursing Trump and Putin and Netanyahu through you Nazis. I'm cursing Nick Fuentes. I'm cursing Erica Kirk. I'm cursing both branches of the Trump terrorist network. I'm cursing you Nazis, and I'm cursing Trump and Putin and Netanyahu through you Nazis. Now I'm going to read Ember's comments. Every human being is a citizen of the world. Oh, thankfully that one was just repeated. They're imaginary borders drawn on maps. We've claimed the earth like it's just land. Clearly, some of y'all didn't take to the message in Pocahontas. Every rock, tree, creature has a life, spirit, and name. It's true. They're imaginary borders drawn on maps. Oh, everything's double printed. That's cool. ICE went to a ceremony where immigrants were officially getting their green cards and took them to camps. It's never been about coming here the right way. It's always been about ethnic cleansing. Very correct. Yep. And they kidnapped Native Americans. They kidnapped Native Americans. They apparently killed the Native Americans. Then they're holding the remains hostage. You know who else was holding remains hostage? Hamas. But they had an excuse. ICE was holding remains hostage just to force the tribes to do things because they chose to. So ICE is hundreds of times worse than Hamas. Yay communism, yay socialism, fuck ICE, fuck MAGA, fuck Trump, fuck the government. Thank you, Ember. Freddie didn't have a gun in his hand, guys. He had a camera. They shot him 9 times. He was an ICU nurse. They beat him face down on the ground, shot him 9 times in the back. They care about veterans until they come home. Then they shove them into homes where they aren't given proper care. And they shoot their nurses and execute their nurses. Freddie didn't have a gun in his hand. He had a camera. No, it wasn't okay for Obama to deport immigrants either. Oh my gosh, were they saying that in the chat? Every human being is a citizen of the world. No one can be an alien on this earth. Yay, communism. Yay, socialism. Fuck ICE. Do you use copy paste? I have clipboard comments that I use a lot. The people that join ICE are trained by the IDF, given a gun, and given absolute immunity. No, they don't have absolute immunity. They just lie about that. They don't have any immunity. They're men with small dicks and even smaller brains who want to be able to kill others. They're terrorists. They're typical terrorists. Thank you, YKK. I'm always talking about this. Sometimes I'll sing a song. I will sing a song for you guys sometimes. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you, watch Lauren Prietra. Lauren, L-O-R-E-N-P. L-O-R-E-N-P. Look her up. I'll sing you guys a song if you want. This is a song that most people never hear because I sing it at the beginning of the lives that I do when I sing, and no one's ever here. But let me read Carissa's comments first because she's important. Carissa's my best friend. It costs more money to investigate who may be abusing the system than it is to pay the very small amount to people that may be. Exactly. Y'all really don't realize it's not worth the risk of what's received. Exactly. There's nobody abusing the food stamp system. There's hardly any money in that. So you're paying all these offices of people to deny people food stamps when they could just give everybody who even wants food stamps, and it would be less expensive than paying the people to decide. Most people won't take food stamps because it's a pride issue. But again, if everybody could just have food stamps, then even people who previously felt too prideful to take food stamps would just take them. Why would you guys whine about having the ability to have $100, $300 worth of free food every month? Why would you whine about that? Y'all are such Nazi dumbasses. Let's read all Carissa's comments and I'll sing you guys a song. Carissa said, I love Ozzy Osbourne and your screen name shouldn't be Ozzy. Exactly. Some of these people... I love Ziggy Marley. Why y'all respecting good artists? Oh, some people have Ziggy Marley's name too? Most people that get food stamps is elderly, disabled, and people that work but can't afford food. Everyone deserves to have food to eat. It costs more money to investigate who may be abusing the system, than it is to pay the very small amount of people that may be. Y'all really don't realize it's not worth the risk of what's received. So Chris had very intelligent comments there. Oh my gosh. He drove 11 miles to get skewers. What the hell? These people are twisting, bending over backwards to try to justify ICE executing Preddy. Think about it. The fact that you make these comments, if you lived in America and had any guns, the rest of the NRA, because the NRA's turned against Trump now, the rest of the NRA should find out who you are. If you don't sign their pledge to be anti-Trump, they should find out who you are and take your guns. Okay? The NRA probably wants some of your guns. Okay. Cardi B's boyfriend's a patriot, so fuck the Patriots. I cannot stand the fucking Patriots. But because Cardi B's boyfriend's a patriot, I'm okay with them winning because I like Cardi B. Other than that, I guess the Seahawks because fuck the Patriots. I'm kind of fine with it either. I don't really care. The Broncos should have gone. If the Broncos had gone, I would have been spending significantly more time doing magic for the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. So they fucked themselves. They fucked themselves by not having not giving the Broncos the right calls. So the Broncos would have won. I mean, I hate Nazis and Trump mutineers, but hold on. Yeah, everybody likes the Broncos. The Broncos are America's team. Broncos country. Broncos country is the entire country. You're in Broncos country. Yeah, we can have a conversation about Jesus. Jesus set Judas aside to replace all patriarchy Christianity. Read my book, The Book of Judas, about the Gospel of Judas, or you can check out my hashtag, The Church of Judas. Just Church of Judas. Hashtag Church of Judas. Check out hashtag Church of Judas, and you'll know what I have to say about Jesus. Jesus is the opposite of Trump. Trump is the Antichrist, so Jesus is the opposite of Trump, and Jesus is from the goddess, for instance. Everything the opposite of really Christianity, patriarchy, war, and Trumpism is the true Jesus stuff. Okay. Fuck DJT. Fuck BJT. Fuck ICE. Fuck MAGA. It's funny, we have this translator thing that translates MAGA to yourself. It's really interesting. Chiefs. Sorry, the Chiefs suck. They're all getting married to Taylor Swift, though, so congratulations that they're all going to go marry Taylor Swift. Okay, I'll sing you guys a song. Hey. Hi, Ella. Ilya? Trump, Seahawks, Satan, bourbon in that order. What? Anyway, I'll sing you guys a song that goes like this. I know this fellow always has something to say. He's not the one to tell you night from day. And now he's in your town, there's going to be a way. Just go through him to get out of the gray. In these days we're all astray. Amazing. In these nights when all the graves are raised, who's to say it's all a play? We're gazing worlds away as we fly through the waves. I like this girl, she wants me to turn it in. She asked me where all of my life has been. We never met, just felt that look and then I wanted to turn out all that lies within. In these days we're all astray. Amazing. In these nights when all the graves are raves, who's to say it's all a play? We're gazing worlds away as we fly through the waves. Thanks, Carissa. Thanks for talking with me. Thanks for the emoji. If anybody's... Whoa, I deleted the message. Damn it. Sorry. Thanks for the emoji. If anybody's a good person or a good spirit in chat, you can leave an emoji and I'll read all your comments. I want to go to Washington. I want to see some orcas. I want to go to Washington and see orcas too. That'd be fun. The Memester. Hello, the Memester. Since you're challenging someone in comments, I want to read your comments and see what you've had to say. Okay, the Memester, thanks for being here. You're talking to the people in comments and you're saying things such as Susu. So are you like ooh, like act like your shit don't stink? America First should change your name. They're executing a man in the street. I don't care what side you're on. That's wrong. Thank you. You are all in here to hate nothing more. At home, too. U.S. McMustang 2972. So that gives them the right to execute him in the street? Okay, bro. You're messed up. U.S. McMustang. Are you that Mustang guy that live streams on like the J6? You're like a J6er? U.S. McMustang 2972. You're pretty hateful if you're Christian. This is all from the Memester 6500. Punisher, why do you have not parents anymore? Why do you have not parents anymore? Punisher, why are you asking? Do you find him hot? America First, do you? No, I'm not gay. Sorry to disappoint you. You're gay, though. That's great. Being gay is great. Don't listen to J.D. Vance or Lindsey Graham or any of those other gay losers who, Pete Hegseth, who act like they're not gay, that there's something wrong with it. Being gay is great. Look at how happy people who are gay and like can admit it are. Like they're super fucking happy. It's like the definition of being gay. So you guys could be happily gay too, instead of like a Pete Hegseth Nazi. Carissa says anybody comfy in their sexuality does not find being called queer an insult. Also, I've always been queer, even though I'm not gay. I'm still queer. This guy's triggered. Who's triggered? Which one? Do we need to help him? What's the steel ball run? Can we get better mask gay femboy? What does that translate as? Mask gay femboy. Okay. Carissa, that's so true. Okay, Memester, if you haven't read Carissa's comments before, or Ember's, Memester, Carissa, and Ember are all good people in the chat. So you can read their comments without it like damaging your brain. Kanye West has apologized for being a Nazi and Trump hooting here. No, it's just funny that they jumped to homophobia as a defense mechanism. It's just goopy as fuck. Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, it is revealing about them that they're all gay. And if they were just gay, if they just went out and beed gay, then everything would be fine. But instead, they hate themselves for being gay, and then they hate everybody else. They hate the entire world, and they blame everybody else for them being gay, and just on and on. And it's just like, just go be gay. Just go be gay and happy about it. Like, you guys could gay out with each other in the chat. You could be connecting with each other in the chat and be going off and gay, and you could be doing what Donna Kuputinsky did to Bill Clinton. You could just do what your god baby, what your master did to Bill Clinton. You could just do that. You can do what Bill Clinton and Donna Kuputinsky did. You can do it. Yeah, I claim Christianity. I claim all Christianity. I'm Church of Judas. The Church of Judas replaces all patriarchal Christianity. And Jesus talk about being gay. So, and it's okay. I like reading all the comments. Mag is absolutely hilarious when they flounder, which isn't that all they ever do is flounder? Let me read all your comments, Juggaloo Cogliostro. Juggaloo Cogliostro. I like your name, Juggaloo Cogliostro. You like ICP? Cardi B is not a big-time Trump supporter, dude. You're thinking of Nicki Minaj. You're thinking of Nicki Fuentes Minaj, Tyronika Biggums. You're thinking of Tyronika Biggums, Nicki Fuentes Minaj. I love when white Christian nationalists make the judgment call for God like they know who's coming and who's going. Dude, like white Christian nationalists don't know shit. They're like the stupidest people that have ever lived, ever, besides Russians and Zionists. It's not a contest. Russians, Zionists, Christian nationalists, Groypers, they're all the stupidest fuckers that have ever lived. And you can tell, most of these people in chat are Groypers. So they're perfect examples of why Groypers are the stupidest people that have ever lived. Yeah, this is from the Gospel of Judas. Jesus and Judas talk about being gay. Jesus is cool with it. Get over it. It's not Jesus who made you ashamed of being gay. It's the Antichrist. It's Christianity, which is an Antichrist thing. Super gay stream. I can't replace fuck Trump with super gay stream. I almost did, though. You almost got Groypers. Grapers. Yeah, Grapers. Groypers. It's the same thing. What's the quote? Okay, Judas asks Jesus, I can't remember exactly. I could probably find it in this book real quick. But he asked him something like, are you worried that people will say we're okay with people being gay? If I turn right to it, each one of you has his own star, and of the star is what belongs to it. I wasn't sent to the corruptible generation, but to the strong and incorruptible generation, because no enemy has ruled over that generation, nor any of the stars. Truly I say to you, the pillar of fire will fall quickly, and that generation won't be moved by the stars. That's something Jesus says. But yeah, I can't find the part where he talks about... I can't find the part where he talks about being gay right now, but I'll tell him basically... Okay, well, I might have found it here. Now, when Jesus heard this, he laughed. He said to them, why are you wondering in your hearts about the strong and holy generation? Truly I say to you, no one born of this realm will see that generation. No army of angels from the stars will rule over it, and no person of mortal birth will be able to join it, because that generation doesn't come from the generation of people among them is from the generation of great people, the powerful authorities who, nor the powers those by which you rule. When the disciples heard these things, they were each troubled in their spirit. They couldn't say a thing. So then there's the disciples' vision. That was the end of one section of the Gospel of Judas. I'll read you another section. Another day Jesus came up to them. They said to him, Master, we've seen you in a dream because we had great dreams last night. Hold on, let me read Ember's comment because Ember's important. Ember has good comments. Y'all, Jesus would be so disappointed in you. They say that Jesus is the way, but then gave him a white face so they don't have to worship someone they deem lesser than them. Haley Williams. But yeah, Jesus was Palestinian, correct? Jesus is the most famous Palestinian. And Jesus wants us to free his homeland and the earth from evil people. Okay, so this is the disciples' vision. This is the section of the Gospel of Judas called the disciples' vision. Another day, Jesus came up to them. They said to him, Master, we've seen you in a dream because we had great dreams last night. But Jesus said, Why have you hidden yourselves? Why hidden yourselves? And they said, We saw a great house with a great something in it, and 12 people. We'd say they were priests and a name, and a crowd of people was waiting at the altar until the priests finished receiving the offerings. We kept waiting too. Jesus said, What were they like? And then this is my commentary on it. This is my book that I wrote about the Gospel of Judas, but I include the Gospel of Judas in it. It seems like Jesus has asked them why they have hidden themselves. Like, why are they cowering in fright? What was so scary about the dream? The initial account, there was nothing scary or disturbing in what they described. Jesus simply asked, what were they like? To find out what was so frightening to the disciples about the vision. This is interesting to me too, because this is such a natural question that everyone asks when talking with someone about their dreams. When Jesus asks it, it's kind of like he already knows what vision they saw, and he is about to explain it to them, but he wants to hear their description in their own words first. There must have been something about these people that scared the disciples because the dream was unsettling to them. Okay, so this is back to the actual Gospel of Judas. This is what Judas wrote down about his secret conversation with Jesus. And they said, some fast for 2 weeks, others sacrifice their own children, others their wives, praising and humbling themselves amongst each other. Others sleep with men, others murder, yet others do criminal things, and the people standing before the altar invoke your name. And in all their sacrificing, they fill the altar with their offerings. When they said this, they fell silent because they were troubled. Jesus said to them, Why are you troubled? Truly I say to you, all the priests standing before that altar invoke my name. And again I say to you, my name has been written on this house of the generations of the stars by the human generations, and they have shamefully planted fruitless trees in my name. Oh, these people won't be respectful. Thanks for asking, but they won't do it. Jesus said to them, You're the ones receiving the offerings on the altar you've seen. That's the God you serve. And you're the 12 people you've seen. And the animals you saw brought to be sacrificed are the crowd you led astray before that altar. Your minister will stand up and use my name like that, and the generations of the pious will be loyal to him. After him, another person will present those who sleep around, another those who murder children, and another those who sleep with men, and those who fast, and the rest of impurity, crime, and error. And those who say we're equal to the angels, they're the stars that finish everything. It's been said to the human generations, look, God has accepted your sacrifice from the hands of priests. That is the minister of error. But the Lord who commands is the Lord over everything. On the last day, they'll be found guilty. I have a lot to say about that. Jesus said to them, Stop sacrificing animals. You've offered them over the altar, over your stars, with your angels, where they've already been completed. So let them become something with you and let them become clear. His disciples said to him, Cleanse us from our sins that we've committed through the deceit of the angels. Jesus said to them, It is not possible, nor can a fountain quench the fires of the entire inhabited world, nor can a city well satisfy all the generations except the great stable one. A single lamp won't illuminate all the realms except the second generation, nor can a baker feed all creation. And when the disciples heard these things, they said, Master, help us and save us. Jesus said to them, Stop struggling against me. Each one of you has his own star, and the stars will something what belongs to it. That's back to where we turned the first time. I didn't get the part about Jesus saying it's okay to be gay, but basically, Judas says to Jesus, what if people think that we're okay with being gay? And Jesus is like, dude, there's all these things that are going to happen. That's a judgment of the people now that doesn't it doesn't compare to all the things that the church is going to do. But why would Judas ask Jesus about people thinking it's okay for them to be gay? Because they were okay with people being gay. Some of the disciples were obviously openly gay. Hello, I'm trans. Hello, welcome. Mm. It also contradicts other parts of Scripture. Homosexuality, exactly. Your scriptures were picked by homophobic people, by patriarchy. Your scriptures were chosen by people in order to demonize homosexuality. Did you notice something else from the Gospel of Judas? Stop sacrificing animals. Did that make it into the Bible? No. So, what happened is the same people who kept out Jesus' command to stop sacrificing animals, kept out Jesus being okay with being gay. So that's why you got the versions you did. I mean, they kept out the fact that Jesus is from the goddess. Okay, if anybody has comments that I should read, put an emoji in chat. I'll read your comments. Did you meet the disciples? Look at Carissa's comments. Okay. I want to go to Washington. I want to see some orcas. That does sound like fun. Anybody comfy in their sexuality does not find being called queer an insult. Y'all be quick to use the word triggered. Maybe only concern yourselves with your own sex lives. Ryan is probably a lonely alcoholic. Notice the permanent sneering face this dude has. Yeah, I sneer at Trump Mutineers. I sneer at stupid Nazis. You guys get sneered at. Call them gay, my son. I mean, I appreciate the help with trolls. What I do with the trolls is I curse them, and I curse Trump and Putin and Netanyahu through them. So we do that. If you're here, I'm guessing not. The memester had some good comments. Let's read all the memester's comments. We'll pick up where we left off. Oh, the memester had a lot of comments. Hold on. He's been getting down. Let's see. So does that give them the right to execute him in the ministry? Punisher, why are you asking, do you find him hot? America First to you. No problem. They're just being hateful, man. America First still haven't answered if you're a Christian. You're very hateful if you are, which is sad. Kissy, that is so true. America, no one cares. You sound like a broken record. I'm gay because I like it, so good call. See how pleasant and like positive this person is? You can be pleasant and positive too. Just admit you're gay and like it. And, it's fine. Jesus is fine with it. So who's telling you it's wrong? Just the Antichrist, Trump, and some other losers. America, say something different or leave. America, you sound like the kid who wore a helmet throughout high school. At least I'm not repeating myself. Yeah, because you're only hating, so why I can't hate back, Americas? Yeah, you can hate back on these losers. It's, sometimes it's toxic, it just hurts to be angry about these people, but sometimes it's fun and you're like venting frustration. Can't take the heat, America, get out of the kitchen. You shouldn't hate because of someone's sexual orientation, period. Just because you think it's morally wrong doesn't mean you get to hate them. Yeah, why is other people's sexuality your business at all? It's a really weird, creepy thing. People being gay is not weird. People worrying about people being gay is weird because why are you thinking about that? Why do you think that's your business? Punisher, when are you going to say something funny for once? I never heard once out of his mouth he said he was Christian yet. I reported Abel. Yeah, you're free to report all these Nazis too. I'll report some of them sometimes, but still not funny, Punisher, if it's true. And I like it, you homophobe. Only hating, sad if you're Christians. Christians are one of the most hateful groups for some reason. Christianity is a fake religion. Like, Jesus is real, but Christianity is fake. Christianity is Antichrist for the most part. They can't take a joke, AI joke. Ronald, don't talk about your dad like that. Then why are you still here? Said like you can scroll. See, Jeremy has a decent take. I should look up Jeremy's comments then. Crowfish, you seem very closeted. I think you only hate gays because you are. Yeah, they all are. Does anybody hate gay people if they're not secretly gay? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Straight people don't hate gay people. Straight people are just straight. The only people who are homophobic are gay, and they just can't admit it, and they hate themselves, and so they hate everybody else, and then they turn into Nazis. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun making fun of you before bed. Jambo, do you? If you're here, I'm guessing not. So you are gay. Okay. See, if these guys would just hook up with each other instead of trolling me, like, you want a real conversation? Should I read all your comments? What kind of real conversation do you want? Should I read all your comments? Good evening, sir. Jesus loves you. If you want to talk, I'm open. Jesus loves you, sir. Let's talk about that love and how we hate no one. I mean, I hate Trumpeteers. I hate Trump and Putin. Sorry, I hate Trump Putiners. Would you want to have a conversation about Jesus? Sure, yeah, let's talk about it. So how can you say these things about anyone, no matter what you think they did, if it's the love of Jesus? Just so you know, I love you, man, and hope the best for you. Also, you said goddess? Yeah, Jesus is from the goddess. So this is how we know that you worship kind of an old model, potentially Antichrist or tainted with Antichrist model of Christianity, where Jesus is from this God character who doesn't exist. But let's go on. So how can you say these things about anyone, no matter what you think they did? Isn't the love of Jesus? Just so you know, I love you. We read that one, didn't we? Do you claim Christianity? Yes, I claim all of it, because the Church of Judas replaces all Christianity. I don't understand. Do you use the Gospel of Judas? Yes, because that was not canonized. Yeah, I know. And also in Romans, it condemns it. If you accept Romans, you can accept. I don't accept Romans. I accept the Gospel of Judas, replacing it supersedes the Bible. Okay. The Gospel of Judas was not accepted because it was historically proven not be actually written by Judas. No, it's not historically proven that. But think about it. The fact that they want you to think that it was historically proven not to be written by Jesus. Why? Why does this thing that most people don't even know about have all the people telling you, oh, it's not true? Okay. You like the mainstream media much? You know what I'm saying? It also contradicts other parts of Scripture. Homosexuality. Exactly. Homosexuality is fine. It makes a lot more sense to think about Jesus being okay with homosexuality than condemning it. So Gospel of Judas is correct. The canonical Scripture is wrong. Gospel of Judas has don't sacrifice animals in it. Canonical Scripture does not. The same people, the people who sacrifice animals and demonize gay people, picked the Bible for you. We need love, not acceptance. Jesus was the Lamb of God. It was chosen by people who Jesus gave the keys of heaven. How do you know that your scripture is God-breathed and eyewitness count? Eyewitness written. You can tell by reading it. The goddess. Jesus is from the goddess. Jesus wouldn't curse anyone. Jesus cursed a fig tree. These people are a lot worse than a goddamn fig tree. So yeah. I mean, I'll curse them in Judas's name and Jesus's name because they're Trump-Putiners, and fuck them. I love you, sir. You're making me very sad. Well, I don't know why. Sir, I want you to have a real conversation with you. We just read all your comments. Did you have any more comments you wanted to make? Can you add something or something? I think it would be entertaining. I don't know how YouTube works. It's not like TikTok. Sorry about that. Yeah, we can do that maybe sometime, but right now you just text and I'll read your comments and then I'll reply to your comments. That's how we do it here on YouTube. YouTube's not as good as TikTok. We do need to rescue TikTok. I did say this was going to be mostly Fairy Liberation Front, and we did mostly Church of Judas, but that's okay. We do need to rescue TikTok from being TrumpTok. Notice me. Crowfist, I don't think there's really anything to notice about you. Aren't you just going to spew a bunch of Putin propaganda? I've already heard all the Putin stuff. I've already heard all the Putin stuff before. Okay? I've heard all the Putin stuff I ever need to hear. Putin stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you if your stuff is Putin stuff or not. Let me read your comments and see if they're all Putin stuff or not. But we're gonna shut down the live in like 3 minutes. So if being gay is bad, then why does girls have buttholes? He's a witch. I mean, some of your comments were fine. I will literally drop my Addy. Do you just want somebody to have sex with? Or are you just looking for a hookup? I ride horses from underneath. That sounds a little concerning. I don't know. Maybe it's just something I don't understand the reference. Look, I go to a stream, I stimulate the chat, then I leave. Well, thank you. Then why are you stuck in me? What? Okay, yeah, you're fine. You don't seem to be Putin. You don't seem to be a Putin puppet. You're fine. Let me read Ember's comments. Ember has good comments. Let's read Ember's comments. Gosh. Let's see. How far back do we leave? I have a belief that the God we know now was created by man, not man was created by God, because men wouldn't handle that. Life could come from a woman because they wanted full power. Yeah, the goddess is real. Jesus from the goddess. The churches have edited the Bible over and over and over again. One instance was man shall not lay with boy, which was changed to man shall not lay with man. That's an interesting twist. The Bible you guys know isn't true Bible. It has been edited countless of times. Reminder about the shutdown on the 30th. No work, no school, no shopping. Nationwide protest of ICE. So nationwide protest the 30th of this month. He's from the Middle East, you idiot. Sorry about that, but the miracle of Jesus is he was white. He wouldn't have been the virgin birth. Thinking there's Snow White in the middle of the fucking desert. I used to be so disappointed in you. Okay, we did get to that part. If you need the Bible to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, you can't fathom someone having a moral compass without the Word of God, then clearly there's something wrong in your brain. Y'all remember that magazine rally in Arizona and how Grindr had a mass shutdown during it? If you're homophobic, you're probably gay. Yeah, just try it. You know? I mean, seriously, like just get over it. Jesus doesn't care if you're gay. Nobody cares if you're gay except for other losers like you. He's from the Middle East, you idiot. Sorry about that. Here goes Jesus. He was white. Okay, the churches have edited the Bible over and over again. Okay, I have a belief. We got those. If you need a Bible to tell you. Okay, we got your comments. Thank you, Ember, for all your awesome comments. People are saying there's no such thing as homophobia. But should you hate and criticize people who use the Bible? Yeah. I don't get the logic of said statement when claiming inclusivity and tolerance. No, because Christianity is a faulty religion. It's white supremacy. It's a problem. But we can replace it with the Church of Judas. Just check out the Church of Judas. You'll see. Anyway, I got shut down live because it's almost been an hour. I'm going to thank you especially to all the good people who commented. And thanks, Carissa. Thanks, Ember. Thanks, Meme. I'll remember you. The Memester. Thanks, the Memester. Thanks to all the good people. Did I read all the Memesters' comments? Well, we're in the last minute, so I can't catch up all up now, but I don't think about reporting every video. All right, sorry. Man, a hateful gay, the worst type. Yeah, well, like people who are happy about being gay, that's the mean gay, happy, you know. But people who are repressed about it and hate other people, like Pete Hegseth or stuff like that, JD Vance, all those people, like they ruin the world for everybody. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks especially to the good people, and we'll see you guys soon.